Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the place you come to. Well, cut through the noise, dig into some interesting sources, and get straight to the valuable stuff.
That's the goal.
And today, we are diving headfirst into something we all encounter, like every single day, advertisements.
Oh, yeah. Unavoidable.
Totally. We've got this source, talkvo3.pdf, and what's really grabbed me is that the whole venture it describes started from a really personal place, a deep frustration.
Yeah, not your usual market research origin story.
Not at all. So our mission today is to explore this kind of radical vision for what ads could be. I mean, just think for a second. What if ads weren't those interruptions you try to ignore?
But actually contributed something, made the experience better.
Exactly. Added value to whatever you're watching or reading. It's a big idea.
It really is. And it challenges, everything we assume about advertising, especially because of where it comes from, like you said. The source kicks off with this pretty blunt admission.
Right. And it's maybe not what you'd expect. The author just comes right out and says they have this profound dislike, like a really deep-seated frustration with the current ad system.
It's not just casual annoyance.
No way. It's foundational. It's the whole reason for this new idea, this venture. Makes you think, what gets someone so worked up that they start a whole new business model around it?
Well, it's interesting because it's not new for them. This feeling apparently goes way back. All the way to 1982, actually.
82?
Yeah, when the author first moved to America. And initially, the ads were kind of exciting, part of absorbing American culture.
Ah, okay. So like learning through osmosis almost.
Kind of, yeah. An unconscious part of settling into a new place, seeing what people buy, what matters.
But that didn't last long, it sounds like. That initial fascination. It soured.
It really did. Quite quickly, according to the source. That curiosity just turned into, serious annoyance.
Why, though? What was the trigger?
It seems to be the sheer volume, the constant repetition, and, crucially, just the lack of any real value in most of them.
Just noise?
Pretty much. The author says flat out, they annoyed the hell out of me, and they still do. It's framed as more than just preference. It's about the cognitive load, the effort of constantly filtering out junk.
That makes sense. And it's not just a personal thing, is it? The document mentions wider effects, like practical consequences.
Oh, absolutely. When ads miss the mark, when they don't connect, companies are basically just wasting money, huge amounts of it.
And guess who picks up the tab for that waste?
We do. Consumers. It gets baked into prices. The author's point is, look, ads are part of the system, sure. A capitalist society needs them, arguably.
But they should be better.
Right. They should enhance our lives somehow, or at least not actively detract from them. Not just interrupt our thoughts constantly.
That's a really key point. And they mention holding off on criticism before this.
Yeah, they felt they hadn't really earned the right to complain publicly, which is interesting. But now with this new venture, they're stepping up. They're saying basically, we can do better.
Okay, so that conviction is clearly the engine here. This deep-seated belief that the current system is broken but fixable.
Definitely.
So better is the goal.
Yeah.
But how? What does better actually look like in practice? What's the core concept driving this change? This brings us to semantic proximity, right?
That's the term they use, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Semantic proximity. And they define it pretty clearly. It means the ad should be closely related to the content we're watching.
Closely related, okay.
But more than just keywords. The idea is it should sort of extend the experience, whether it's a movie, some educational video, whatever you're engaged with.
Extend it. How, though? Can you give an example?
Sure. So let's say you're watching that documentary on sustainable farming.
Right.
A truly proximate ad wouldn't just be like for any tractor. It might be for a local organic farm box delivery service, or maybe an investment fund focused on green technology.
Ah, I see. Or even a course related to it.
Exactly, like a permaculture course online, something that genuinely feeds into the interest that the content has already sparked. It's about context and nuance, not just blunt targeting.
So the goal is ads become something you actually might want to see, something that informs you or makes you think, instead of being the signal to,
run to the bathroom, grab a drink, zone out. Yeah.
It's a massive shift, philosophically, but technically too, I imagine.
It really is. And the author sees this not as a limitation, but as a genuine opportunity, especially with newer tech like AI.
Okay, AI comes into play how?
Well, the belief is that AI can help achieve and maintain this really high level of semantic closeness between the content and the ad, much better than old methods.
Interesting. Now, this sounds great, potentially, for viewers. But who else benefits? The source mentions two sides of the coin.
Right. It considers both the content creator and the advertiser.
Okay, what are their perspectives here?
So for the creator, it's
Right.
how do I make money from my work without driving my audience crazy with terrible ads? Effective monetization, basically.
Makes sense. And the advertiser?
Their question is, where should I spend my ad budget? Which platforms actually deliver? And the argument here is they should look for platforms where semantic proximity is happening, because that means more engaged audience for their message.
Yeah, semantic proximity tries to align those two. The creator gets paid for offering a good ad experience, and the advertiser gets a genuinely interested audience.
Precisely. It's aiming for that win-win scenario that interruptive ads often fail to achieve.
Okay, that clarifies the theory. But how is this actually being tested? Is it just an idea or is it happening now? You mentioned a living laboratory.
It's definitely happening. The author is taking a very practical approach. They're writing a book series right now, 7 parts, called The 7 Levels of Selling.
A book series is a lab. How does that work?
Well, each book becomes a testing ground. They're using the content of the books to develop and refine these right kind of advertisements, ads that fit the semantic proximity model.
So ads related to selling, presumably.
Exactly. But the idea is they should also be educational in themselves, almost like mini lessons that extend the book's ideas, not just sales pitches.
That's quite meta. Very clever. How are they measuring if it works? Gauging proximity sounds tricky.
It is tricky. They're using students, actually, to evaluate how closely the ads relate to the book content, but they're also looking at AI tools.
Comparing human judgment versus algorithms.
Sort of. Exploring how well AI can do this compared to people, like what kind of AI, natural language processing, sentiment analysis, and crucially, how much human oversight is still needed.
Where does intuition still beat the machine?
Right. Finding that balance between what tech can automate and where you still need that human touch for, say, understanding subtle context or irony or maybe abstract connections, that's a big part of the research.
This is genuinely fascinating. A real attempt to fix something that, let's be honest, annoys most of us.
Yeah.
But let's bring it back home. Why should someone listening right now care about all this? Why is this deep dive relevant to you?
I think it goes back to that core philosophy the author has, that real hatred for interruptions to my thought process.
Yeah.
Most of us feel that, right? And the belief that we simply must do better in the 21st century. This isn't just academic. It's about improving your daily media experience.
Imagine that. Imagine a future where ads aren't something you dread or skip.
But something that actually fits, that feels like part of the flow.
Yeah. It can make the whole experience richer, more informative even. You're watching something interesting, and the ad break actually gives you something else interesting and related. Content funded by stuff you might actually want to see.
It's a big vision, and the ambition is definitely there. The author talks about developing this tech quickly, first in America then.
Globally?
Across the world, yeah. They're aiming for a fundamental change in how advertising works everywhere.
Wow. Well, that's definitely something to think about.
Yeah.
A future where advertising shifts from being a necessary evil, maybe, to a genuine enhancement. It's a compelling picture.
It really is, and it leaves you with a question, doesn't it? If this idea of semantic proximity really takes hold, if it becomes the norm, could it actually change our fundamental relationship with ads? Could we reach a point where we don't just tolerate them, but maybe even engage with them willingly instead of hitting skip?